Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about a word that, well, it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. Discipline. We usually think of it as this restrictive thing, something that cages us in. But what if I told you that's all wrong? What if discipline is the actual key to unlocking the freedom you've been looking for? Let's get into it. So yeah, that's the big question for today, isn't it? How can having more discipline actually lead to more freedom? It sounds wrong, like it's a total paradox. How can putting more rules on yourself make you freer? But stick with me, because understanding this one idea, man, it can change absolutely everything. And this idea comes straight from former Navy SEAL Jocko Willink. He puts it this way: the more discipline you have in your life, the more freedom you will end up with. Now, that's not just some catchy phrase. He's seen this play out in the real world time and time again. So let's really dig into how this actually works. Yeah, let's just call it the discipline freedom paradox, because once you wrap your head around this, it's a total game changer. It's this idea that all those little discipline choices you make every single day, they're not restrictions. They're actually the building blocks for your future freedom. Just think about it like this. Imagine your life has two different roads you can take. You've got the path on the left, that's the path of impulse. You do what feels good right now in the moment. Then you've got the path on the right. That's the path of discipline. That's when you do what you know you're supposed to do, even when you don't feel like it. And where these two paths end up, well, they couldn't be further apart. And that's really the heart of it. See, a lack of discipline doesn't actually make you free. It just puts you in a different kind of prison. If you don't have the discipline to eat right and move your body, you end up a slave to bad health. If you don't have financial discipline, you become a slave to debt and bills. And if you don't have discipline with your time, you become a slave to a schedule that's always out of control, with no real free time to speak of. So this all leads to a really tough pill to swallow, but it's also maybe the most empowering idea of all. The biggest thing that's holding you back, it's not your job, it's not your situation, it's not the economy, it's you. And this is the core principle of something called extreme ownership. You know that nightmare. I think a lot of us have had it. You're trying to move, but you're just stuck. Some invisible force is holding you down, and the harder you fight, the more trapped you feel. It's that awful, terrifying feeling of being completely powerless. Well, here's the twist. That thing in the nightmare, the one holding you back, pinning you down, that thing is you. It's your own excuses, your own procrastination. It's you choosing the easy way out over and over again. And this right here shows the huge mental shift you have to make. On the one side, you've got all the excuses, right? You can blame your boss, blame your luck, blame the world for your problems. Or you can do what's on the other side. You drop the excuses and you take ownership. It's a simple switch, but man, it changes everything from external blame to internal control. Okay, let's be real. Facing up to this, it hurts. It's painful. Your ego just wants to scream, no way. But if you can push through that initial sting and just accept it, accept that you are the source of your problems, something incredible happens. You realize if you're the problem, then guess what? You're also the solution. And that, right there, is real power. So, if we're our own biggest problem, what's the fix? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Not easy, but simple. It's action. This next part is all about why just doing the thing is so much more powerful than waiting around until you feel like doing the thing. I mean, we all love motivation, don't we? It's that awesome feeling when you're fired up and ready to go. But here's the catch. Motivation is a feeling. It's flaky. It shows up when it wants to, and it leaves without warning. If you only put in the work when you feel motivated, you're basically leaving your entire future up to chance. Discipline, though, that's different. Discipline is the system you build that just plows right over your feelings. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're bored or feeling uninspired. Discipline just says, no, time to get up and do the work. It's a tool that you control, not a feeling that controls you. And that's exactly why action is the cure-all. All that fear, all those what-ifs that are swirling around in your head, they only have power when you're standing still. The second you take that first step, the moment you just go, they start to vanish. All right, so we get it. Take action. Be disciplined. But hold on, because working hard isn't the whole story. You have to make sure you're putting all that effort into the right thing. It's about playing the long game and playing it smart. This analogy just explains it perfectly. Think about it. Let's say you pour a ton of effort into a basketball game. You play your heart out, you might score what, 40, maybe 50 points. Awesome.
Now take that exact same amount of incredible effort and put it into a soccer game. You might score 1 goal, maybe 2 if you're lucky. The effort was identical, but the game you chose to play completely changed the result.
And what that means is, every once in a while, you have to stop. You have to pull yourself out of the day-to-day grind, take a look around, and ask yourself a really tough question. Is the game I'm playing right now, is it actually going to get me where I want to go? Sometimes the most disciplined thing you can do is realize you need to switch games entirely. But you gotta be so careful, because just like discipline is built up slowly, one good decision at a time, it can fall apart the exact same way. It never starts with a huge disaster. It starts with one tiny compromise. I'll just skip today's workout. Or one little cheat meal won't hurt. Each one feels like no big deal at the moment, but they add up. They compound in the wrong direction. And you can never, ever get that moment back. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Rome wasn't built in a day. We all know that part. But we always forget the other side of it. But Rome didn't fall apart in a day either. It falls apart just a little bit at a time. Great things don't just explode. They rot from the inside out because of 1,000 tiny bad decisions. And your own personal discipline works the exact same way.
Okay, so this brings us to the grand finale, the big payoff. What is the ultimate prize for all this discipline, all this hard work? It's not just about money or having more time on your hands. No, it's something way bigger. It's the freedom to literally build the person you want to be. Because this is what it's all about. You are not set in stone. You don't have to be weak. You can go to the gym and build strength. You don't have to be uninformed. You can read and study and become smarter. You get to decide. You get to choose who you want to become. And that is the ultimate freedom. The freedom that discipline buys you is the freedom to forge your own identity. It's the power to, over time, look in the mirror and finally see the person you always knew you could be.
So we're back where we started, but now everything looks different. The thing holding you back really is you. But that's not bad news. That's the best news you could ever hear. Because if you're the obstacle, you're also the only one with the power to move it. So the only real question left is, what are you going to do about it?